Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another weekly edition of Midrank Madness. This is Commando versus Kinraju on Dusk Towers. In the top side of Dusk Towers, we have the Red Terran player representing Astara. It is Commando. And in the bottom of Dusk Towers, we have the Blue Terran player representing Cheesebiz. It is Kinraju. I want to assume that's like cheeseburger business, just because that's funny, but who knows what it really is. Clan names can take upon lives of their own. So this is Midrank Madness. If you haven't been here before, welcome aboard. This is my weekly edition where I look at games between the gold and diamond level of StarCraft 2, kind of see what players are doing in that area, kind of help them see where they can improve, and gonna go from there. If you have a replay from gold to diamond you want to submit to me for this consideration, go ahead and send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Midrank Madness. And I'll go ahead and get to my screeners. We will find a good one for a cast. And if it's yours, then congratulations. If it's not, then better luck next time. Again, if you're not from gold to diamond, but you want to submit a replay anyway, if you're silver or bronze, send it to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. That is my series that I do every Friday from those really lowbie players, really help them become better gamers along the way, and we're educational and entertaining at the same time. If you have a game masters or GM, go ahead and label it as such, and I'll check that out one as well. And just kind of sprinkle those in among the pro games that I do every single day of the week here on Falcon Paladin. So here we are with the TBT, and moving on in is this SCV, just checking things out. Going to go ahead and see the construction of that barracks. Choosing to wall off here is Commando, and that's going to go ahead and deny the scout that shows up just a few seconds too late for Kinraju. Going to go ahead and check things out, and not much able to see anything at all. Yeah, this is what this SCV does if you tell it to go up here, and it can't. It will actually go around this area and like futilely try to find a place where it can make something happen here. Little SCV harass going on here for Kinraju, taking some stabs away. Where is the Marine? The Marine does take down the SCV. It's a little burning pile of debris there, and this guy needs to get back to work. Kinraju, you have an SCV who's not doing anything right now. He was chasing this SCV, but now that SCV is dead, his work is done. Get him back in there. No, choosing instead not to do that. Going for a factory, and what exactly is our friend Commando doing? He's going for the command center a little bit earlier than his opponent, giving him the economic advantage, and an engineering bay being constructed in the red base as well. Wow, you can stutter step, says Commando. Guess the Marine did a little bit of stutter stepping to take down that SCV. I'm not sure why the response time is so delayed from Commando, but that's A-OK. Some really different things going on here. Reactor Tech Lab for Kinraju. Engineering Bay, Factory, Orbital Command, SCV for Commando. Factory on the way, about 45% complete here. Engineering Bay is going to be used for what? Missile turret. Not going to use those for upgrades right now. Missile turret, a little bit undersaturated here at this base. This base as well needs to get that worker count up, but he's making SCVs at the same time here as Commando, so can't really fault him too much on that one. Unfortunately, stop making workers here is Kinraju. So here's a little tip. Even if you're going to be oversaturating this base, go ahead and keep making SCVs as Terran, because as soon as your second comes up, you're going to go ahead and transfer a bunch of these anyway. So you might be oversaturated on your main for 5 or 6 seconds, or maybe a little bit longer, but don't worry about it because you're going to need them at this natural eventually, and you'll be glad you have them at that point. Going to move on down here with the factory, moving on to the tech lab. Yep, going to construct the tech lab. Looks like a standard Marine tank composition here for Commando, or for Kinraju rather. Commando getting double factory here with a starport, maybe going for more of a mech Marine type play. Oh, because he's not getting upgrades at the engineering bay, which tells me he's not necessarily going for a lot of Marines and a lot of Marauders. Commando, again, he is up 30 to 25 total harvesters. Kinraju, a little bit behind on that count, once again, is making SCVs. However, making SCVs down here, no! Continue making those workers. You must do this, friends. I believe you can do it. Hellions in production here for Commando. Is there anything to defend against this? The tank's going to do really well against Hellions if it's in good position, especially if it's in siege mode. SCV scouting back and forth. I like this positioning here from Commando, just trying to see when the army moves out for Kinraju. The SCV will die quickly, but it should be able to see pretty much what's coming out before it gets evaporated. Banshees and Cloak on the way for Kinraju. So we're going to go ahead and try to get out there for some harassment with Cloak Banshees. This missile turret's been here forever, and so is this one, though, so I'm not sure how effective those Banshees are going to be. And a Vikings out as well. Commando, do you know that there are Banshees coming? Wow. The Viking probably should stay home because there's a Banshee on the way. But this SCV was still running around. Might come up here and get roasted up by these Hellions. Or a tank could just obliterate it with one shot. That's also a possibility. SCV is still scouting back and forth. Nobody's interested in taking their own third. So tank production going up for both players. But Kinraju has 2 compared to Commando's 2. So Commando's keeping up with the tank production while also getting these Vikings out. And the Banshees aren't slowing down Kinraju's tank production either. So there's the SCV doing its job, seeing the Marines and seeing the tanks heading on out here. Marines, tanks, Hellions trying to do their civic duty. Here comes the cloaked Banshee. Does the Viking see it? I think he caught a glimpse of it there. Oh, getting some shots off. The Banshee trying to kill some stuff. Going after a building. Not what you want to do. Can a scan be able to kill it? There are already scans available. No, I don't know that there are. The Banshee actually up to 3 kills there. Nicely done. About to run out of its energy though. 20 slowly lowering, killing yet another SCV, preventing the construction of a supply depot. Meanwhile, attacking at the front here is Kinraju. Tank splashing down on all of those Marines, taking a lot of damage there. They can't really attack it from back this way. The Banshee is out of energy now, and the scan comes in at the same time. A little bit unlucky there for Commando. If he'd waited another second, he would have been able to kill it. But look at this expanding on the back of that attack. Is Kinraju lost a lot of units there at the front. The tank splashing everything on that ramp. Got 2 kills. Greatly weakened much of everything else. All that's left for Kinraju is a single tank and 2 Marines heading on back home. So both players, I want to say Commando's floating more money here than Kinraju is. Kinraju's spending his money fairly effectively, but over 1,000 minerals here for Commando. Got to make some more Marines or some more workers. Actually going for more factories. Is this more of a mech play from Commando? Haven't seen this a whole lot on the pro levels in TVT, but in the lower levels, who knows? It could absolutely work. Why not? Armory, double factory, and nothing else happening back here. A little bit undersaturated, but continuing to make SCVs as a good player at Midrank Madness should continue to be doing. When in doubt, probes and pylons, said Day 9, SCVs and supply depots, drones, and overlords. If you don't do anything but that, you should be in pretty good position when the time comes for the battles. A few Vikings here, a lot of Hellions. Could these transfer into Hellbats? The armory is underway, but not quite here yet, so not quite able to do so. Mules being thrown down. That third base now up and running a little bit before Kinraju's is. So setting up on this giant ramp that's so hard to defend and so hard to wall off. But against Terran, you don't really want to wall off anyway. What is that upgrade? Is that the high-capacity fuel tanks? Increases the medevac's fuel reserves and allowing Ignite Afterburners to last 50% longer. Have I actually seen that on my channel before? I don't think I have. So it gives the boost abilities on the medevacs a lot more time, which is nice. I'm surprised I don't see pros use that more often. Having extra boost seems like it'd be worth it, especially if the Terran's dropping a lot, but maybe they have a reason for not using it that I'm unaware of. I'm trying to think of what that could be, but it's hard to do that and cast at the same time, so we'll just leave it alone. Starport under construction, medevacs being constructed on the first starport that is already up. Stim on the way for Kinraju. And Commando getting plus attacks for his vehicles, which is nice. Going to go ahead and help us Hellbats get plus attack and siege tanks at the exact same time. Liberators are here. Rather, a Liberator is here for Kinraju. I don't see any others on the map. Just a single Liberator between these two armies. A single Banshee here as well. Tank count right now is in favor of Kinraju by 1, 5-4. Army supply, 2,300 minerals and 900 gas here for Kinraju. Commando has 3,000 minerals and 1,000 gas. A little bit in the lead on that, but not so much that I'm going to go ahead and call the game for him right now. So here comes a double Hellbat drop. Again, these guys can afterburn a little bit longer than they could before that upgrade. So we'll see if this is going to work out. They could maybe drop back here, do a lot of damage. This missile turret will not help at all against a Hellbat drop unless the medevacs get close enough to actually take some shots from it. Widowmines on the way for Kinraju, as well as a sensor tower. I like using sensor towers in TVT, especially knowing where the army is coming from can be so useful. Boosting around the backside, not actually boosting, just kind of slowly, carefully, painstakingly coming around. And gonna land here before the missile turrets can come dropping on in. Are all these Hellbats with the blue flame upgrade gonna lose these medevacs if he's not careful, and keeping one alive. A lot of the SCVs are retreating for their lives. Not many of them, though. Here comes some Marines stimming on in and trying to deal with this. The Hellbats getting absolutely melted down. Medevac dying as well. Not even getting close enough to hit anything. Marines are a good answer to Hellbats. They have longer range, they hit harder. Hellbats are a little bit slower as well, so yeah, don't go into that battle. Commando saying the kid can split too. He's being a little bit snarky here. We'll see if Commando comes out with the winner, if Kinraju is the one. I'm not sure who sent this to me because they didn't put their username in the email, which I prefer. I'd rather not know who's going to win, who sent it to me, right? Because if you send me something to Midrank Madness, it usually means that you won, and you don't usually send them if you lost. Anyway, tanks are here setting up for the siege. Marine is just gone. He's just absolutely gone. Medevac rejoining with the rest of the army, actually going back home is Kinraju. This base for Commando up and running. Fourth base here at the 10-minute mark. More Medevacs coming in, continuing, and there's a Raven. A Raven on the way for Commando. Sensor tower of his own is under construction. There's already one here. Where's the other one going to be? Back here to look out for drops. I like this. Missile turrets coming up as well. Maybe a bit of an overreaction, but Commando has 74 to 59 total harvesters, and just a fairly standard tank marine composition with liberators, with a liberator and a banshee. Rather, scans in, sees what he's dealing with, sees the number of tanks on the ground, sees the Vikings that are in the air. The Vikings will negate the banshee and negate the liberator. Absolutely 100%. Is there anything scanning here? There is not. Is there going to be a scan? Is there enough for a scan? Somewhere indeed. No, the Raven comes in and actually takes down that Banshee. There's the Raven mixed in with the rest of those air units. Kinraju getting a +2/+2 for his ground units here. Marines and Marauders just dancing back. I'm not sure he really wants to go in there. The tanks, especially if they're in siege mode. Man, Kinraju coming on over. He could possibly move up to this high ground with his tanks and Marines and just try to lock this base down from the high ground. Can be hard to defend if that's the case with Commando. And choosing instead not to take this base. Both players actually going for the slightly closer to your third, but again, more vulnerable to harassment from that high position. So right now it's 188 to 165 total supply. Commando is in the lead that way. 87 workers. Might be a little bit oversaturated on worker count, but his income has got to be amazing right now. Yeah, 2,000 minerals, 700 gas compared to 1,300 for Kinraju. 88 to 63 total harvesters. Commando might need to slow down with that worker count, actually. I know I said continue making SCVs, but look at this, 30 SCVs on this base. He's well saturated on his other places, actually undersaturated here and here. If you're able to move maybe 10 SCVs back here, and maybe like 5 SCVs over here, he wouldn't be in such a ridiculous position right here. The reason oversaturation is bad is because, look, there are SCVs who are waiting to mine. If there are SCVs who are actively waiting to mine and not actually mining, it is bad, it is inefficient. You want it to be about 2 SCVs per mineral patch because the timing works out to where one gets there where the other one's ready to come back, and they just kind of tag team it that way. Sensor towers galore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sensor towers landing over here in the gold base is Commando. It is protected by this debris, which is excellent and very, very nice. These guys need to get to work though. Worker count is now at 90 for Commando. So many workers. +3/+3 infantry, armor, and weapons for Kinraju in production, as well as that the Infernal Pre-Igniter. Nope. Upgrade vehicle weapons level 2 for Kinraju, making his tanks that much more effective. Taking another base over here. Kinraju taking the more standard blue minerals instead of Commando's crazy gold minerals. Swinging on over here again. Here comes the command center, gonna land, and so both players really expanding like crazy right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total bases for Commando. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for Kinraju. Defending as well as Commando. He just has tanks spread everywhere. What is our tank count out right now? Kinraju has 9 and 17 for Commando. Really going to be hard to break this for Kinraju. But again, how effectively offensive can Commando be? If he tries to bring his tanks in and they're not sieged, these Marines, especially with +3/+3 and stim, will be able to kill them pretty darn easily, depending on the number of tanks that come with. Mules being thrown down here for Kinraju. And let's take a look at that resources lost tab. 1,900 minerals lost for Kinraju. 300 gas, 2,100 minerals, and 300 gas lost for Commando. 20 SCVs to 10. Commando has lost more, but again, his worker count is still ahead of his opponent. So let's see who's going to come out on top here. +3 vehicle weapons on the way for Commando. It always looks so cool, like fires coming out of a cannon or something. I suppose that's what it is. And getting combat shield here at the 14-minute mark is Kinraju. Kinraju, as well as double starport. Could this turn into a battlecruiser type play? Ah, there is absolutely a fusion core being constructed over here in Commando's base. He could use that for battlecruisers. He could also be using it to extend his Liberator's defender mode circle, but instead I don't think that is what's going to happen here. Here come the Marines onto that high ground, going to try to kill stop. Blue Flame Hellions roasting everything up though. All of these Hellions doing a great job of that. Unfortunately, more Marines come from the bottom side. Standing in and fighting are the Hellions, roasting up what they can. They all get cleaned up though, taking a lot of Marines with them. And the high ground, exactly what they want. Hunter Seeker Missile. Wow, did that not even get moving? Is Hunter Seeker, did that get nerfed as well? It might have gotten nerfed. I don't know. Fusion core is complete. Tanks on the low ground, getting rid of these medevacs or these Marines in a hurry. Tanks once again though for Kinraju, dropping some Hellbats, trying to get rid of them. That didn't work out so well for Commando either. Tanks dropping into a more offensive position, again killing more SCVs here. The SCV is going to try to repair this planetary fortress, taking damage to their faces as they do so. Swinging around this right side here is Kinraju at the 16-minute mark. Widowmine shot does kill a total number of 2 Marines. Fully upgraded Marines with combat shield are actually able to survive a Widowmine hit, so that's something that's good to know. Defender mode circles coming on down on these tanks. Tanks alone cannot live. No, get out of there. Let Liberators take care of these guys, and indeed they are. Oh, Liberators absolutely clearing out that tank line. Marines stemming forward. Like I said, unsieged tanks, not the best units in the game. Planetary Fortress might be able to survive. Hellbats right on top of everything, though. Good stem, good stutter step back here. Is Kinraju losing a couple Marines in the process, but again, the Hellbats were able to kill a couple of these units as well in revenge. Fusion core coming up for Kinraju as well. So both players with their own fusion cores. I have not seen any battle cruisers on the way. Okay, he is using it for the Liberator's advanced ballistics, where it goes and increases the range of Liberators in defender mode by 4. Units tab. Who has Liberators? That's so weird. Commando is getting that upgrade when he doesn't even have any Liberators on the field. He's planning on making them, dropping the tanks down. Are they in range? They are in range of that planetary fortress. Again, SCV's desperately trying to repair, throwing up missile turrets, because why not? Here for Commando, he has a lot of money in the bank, 5,000 and 3,000 monies. Trying to bait some tank Marines into here. The Vikings come in, try to snipe down these Liberators. What is faster? I think Liberators are faster. 3.85 speed compared to 4.72 speed. This planetary fortress is going to fall despite the repair efforts of these SCVs. Actually, is it enough? Oh! Liberator. Wait, what killed those tanks? Oh, this Liberator. Okay, couldn't quite see him. 1 kill there. Saving the planetary fortress. Tanks, Marines, marching on over. +3, just about on the way here for the tanks for Commando's army. Not quite there for Kinraju yet, but they are +2, which is nice. Coming around here and going for that concave attack, setting up the tanks outside of the range of the planetary fortress. Stimming on in here are the Marines and the Marauders. This PF is definitely going to fall, and it does. All the SCVs forced to retreat for their lives. Medevacs falling to Vikings over on this side of the field. And walking into more tank fire. Be careful with your Marines, man. Kinraju has lost 112 Marines. 112. That's just careless, man. Coming on in here with Blue Flame Hellions. Trying to kill tanks. Never the greatest idea in the entire history of the world, but not many Marines are left here. And coming up in a defensive position again is Commando. This base is still running. Commando's got to be pretty proud of that. I'm not sure that Kinraju knows that it's there. He does not. Has no idea that base exists. More Liberators coming out with those Medevacs drilling claws on the way, helping those Widowmines burrow a little bit more quickly. And there we go. Kinraju was also getting the advanced ballistics upgrade for those Liberators. Coming back, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what Kinraju says. Liberators coming in with defender mode ability, but there's a lot of Vikings in the air. And all the Liberators get cleaned up fairly quickly. Okay, there's still 2 left here, but the rest of them are going to die because Viking range is absolutely insane. Splash damage for the Liberator is good, but 1 against, like, 10? Not the best odds at all. Could the Liberators come in? There's some Banshees here, and yeah, the Vikings absolutely trying to kill every single one of these Medevacs. All that's left here is pretty much going to be these tanks, and defender mode circles are going to make mincemeat of them in just a matter of seconds unless they can get out of there. Can they run? Yes, 1 manages to escape. No, the tank finishes him off. The tank finishes off the final escaping tank there here at the 19-minute and 54-second mark. Thor's on the way for Kinraju. Getting the hyperflight rotors is Commando, allowing his Banshees to fly much, much more quickly. It's a nice upgrade, actually, for Banshees. Oversaturated here at this base, and this base is still unsaturated, so at least he doesn't have too many workers hanging out over in this area, but still, quite a few idle SCVs not doing much of anything at this point. The Commando has defended well, I want to give him that, but he's not doing a great job on the offensive. Kinraju has been able to keep up his bases, hasn't really been threatened in any way to this point. But it's 145, 149, and 155 total supply. Somehow Kinraju is actually ahead in the worker count at this point. 20 SCVs have been killed for Kinraju, but Commando has lost a total number of 48. 48 total have died. Holy shamoly, that is just a big, scary number for any Terran player to lose. Another command center under construction along this right side for Team Red. Team Blue, on the other hand, taking more along this left side approach. And Vikings and Liberators and Marines and Marauders, oh my. Kinraju again playing the part of the aggressor. There's so many sensor towers. So many sensor towers. Hard to know. Hard to go anywhere without being recognized for what you are. Tanks on the high ground. Missile turrets being constructed like crazy. I guess that's for the Liberators. It makes sense. This base might actually be forced to cancel. Thor throwing on shots. The Vikings actually landing. That's not a great idea. Don't do that. Command center does end up falling along with the SCV. A lot of scans here for Commando, seeing exactly what the army is and where they're going. And Kinraju seems to be happy with that. Killing this base was his life's work. He leaves a Liberator behind. Unfortunately for that Liberator pilot, probably going to die to Vikings at some point. Moving up towards the center of the map here, though, is Kinraju. Waddling his way up with his Thor, with his tanks, and his Commando going to attack. The tanks are in siege mode. And running on in here are the Marines and the Marauders, taking heavy, heavy losses, though, and deciding to retreat. Vikings trying to snipe a few things out of the air. Once again, Kinraju does not like the terms of that engagement at all and is going to run for his life. Hopefully not losing too much. The Thor providing some anti-air cover from the rear. Cloaking field on the way for Commando for his Banshees. Getting vehicle and ship level plating level 3 and weapons level 3. Cyclones in production for Commando. Huh. We'll see if the Cyclones can do anything for him. Again, so much money in the bank. Commando is completely maxed out, but he's got to go kill some stuff. He has to kill stuff and rely on his production facilities to catch up. Commando throwing out there, you're actually really good, mate. So again, both players showing some respect to each other. A lot of scans. There are so many orbital commands that it doesn't really matter if you use energy on scans or not. There it is, another base under construction for Kinraju. Along the left side, Commando saying mech is dying. And it's true, mech is not as popular as it once was, not really as much of a viable strategy as it was in Heart of the Swarm. Hellions, once again, you can't really engage this, Hellions. Oh man, he tries anyway, gets right on in there, tries to kill as many things as he can. I guess he might have been freeing up supply? That's possible, as immediately Widow Mines are in production for Commando. This base has not been replanted for Commando. Kinraju recognizes that and just backs on out. I believe he has a base advantage. He doesn't know about this one though, which is still mining, because there's only 5 SCVs on it, so these mineral patches will last approximately forever. 23-minute mark we are here. Both players again. We just have the Maginot line here. Nobody really seems too intent to cross it. Dancing back and forth, continuing with our radar scans, seeing where the enemy is. 195 to 194 total supply. And honestly, I've been here. I've been in this position where you just kind of worry about if you go in and attack and lose your whole army, that's the game, right? If things go poorly for you, positioning is bad, you just kind of get unlucky with a couple Widow Mine hits or something. That's it. The army pushes in and finishes you off. It can be very, very, I want to say, intimidating to get out there and face the army on their own terms, on their own side of the map, which is exactly what Commando is trying to avoid doing. He's going to try to win somehow, but did he actually scan that? He did! Kinraju finally scanned this base. The army's going to go ahead and take it down because the army for Commando is way down here. I think he has too many Vikings. The Vikings are good, but I guess Kinraju has a lot of Vikings too. Hard to say if he has too many there. Planetary Fortress going to get some kills. Up to 3 kills. And can it get more kills? The SCVs are desperately trying to repair, but the DPS is just too much. All the SCVs here end up falling. The refineries should take shots as well. The army not really responding for Commando. He just wants this base to be here and keep it alive. Throwing down 100, okay, like 20 missile turrets everywhere. Missile turret tank. This reminds me of Brood War, man. This was a fairly standard, at least for me when I played Terran in Brood War, fairly standard play against Protoss. You got missile turrets up, you got tanks up. Tanks did very well against most things on the ground for Protoss. Missile turrets dealt with anything, shuttles that would try to come in and drop stuff on top of your tanks. Missile turrets handled those fairly well. As well as observers, which could be very annoying at the same time. So here comes Kinraju, feeling a little bit emboldened after killing that gold base. Does he want to get in there? Again, the Marine Marauder army on the ground is going to be very important. Canceling a couple missile turrets, a couple shots coming from one of those missile turrets, forcing Kinraju back just a little bit. So many scans from Commando. There is nowhere to go for Kinraju. The Commando does not know where he is. This base up and running is a nice pickup for Commando indeed. Kinraju could probably stand to take this base right now. Commando playing very defensively right on now. Production tab actually empty for both of these players. Just trying to get in position. They're both pretty much maxed out, so they're just getting their own banks up. Tank splash on a lot of these units. Not enough to quite kill them, though, because, again, they are fully upgraded with +3/+3 infantry armor and infantry weapons alike. So production tab, again, nothing going on. The great dance is here. And we just listen to the music. I actually opened a ticket with Blizzard about how come I can't... Wait, is this Brood War music? This might be Brood War music. Okay. Anyway, somebody requested Brood War music in my replays a while ago, and I wasn't quite able to do it, I didn't think, but this... No, this is StarCraft 2, I think. Man, now I'm getting all sorts of confused. I played both of those games for so long. Here come the Liberators, though, taking out a fellow member of their own, the Liberators quad, taking some shots in revenge from Commando. Is this Zerg? I don't know. I really don't know at this point. It is way too late for me to try to be thinking of this kind of stuff. Kinraju having the high ground, but once again, the scans just unable to hide him anywhere. Trying to put some tanks on the high ground to get rid of that PF. Do they want to? Liberators here with defender mode going to dance back and forth, Liberator shots, getting in there, getting that splash damage on top of everything. Liberator versus Liberator. A lot of Widow Mines on the ground, but I think Kinraju knows about these. He's scanned this area enough times. And stimming forward, going for it, other Marines and the Marauders. There should be enough DPS on the ground to take out that PF, and indeed there is. They get rid of that one. Are they going to get rid of the second one? They're going to try to do so. And they do. The Widow Mines chasing ineffectually. The Liberator's not throwing down defender mode until it was too late. And Kinraju just trying to starve out his opponent, trying to kill bases. Not really worried about doing much of anything else. Oh, man, running in there. Marines, Marauders just getting massacred. Liberator taking down tanks just a little bit too close inside that defender mode circle. And Thor with 7 kills, +3 for Thor's hammer and javelin missile launchers, +1 vehicle plating on that guy. Might as well get your upgrades. I mean, there's nothing else you could spend your money on right now. You're both essentially mined out, or maxed out rather, on supply. But heading back once again, Kinraju. I believe you could do this. Commando is playing too defensively to really make this work for him. I have to believe that Kinraju is the one who can end the stalemate and make things work. Another Cyclone on the way for Kinraju. Is he the one that was making those Cyclones earlier? He is. He has a total of 3. Commando has 1. Pretty big tank splashes, pretty big Liberator splashes in the air, but nobody really taking substantial hits. Once again, resources lost. 18,900 minerals for Kinraju. 5,600 gas. 16,000 minerals. 4,100 gas for our Terran player, who is red. A few lone units getting caught out of position here by Kinraju, bringing those down immediately. Heading up to this high ground once again, going to try to kill this base. as soon as it finishes. And once again, the army is far away here for Commando. Can he get it? The Vikings want to get rid of those Liberators first, but they bought enough time, actually, for the rest of the army to show up for Commando. Can he... Oh, Thor taking out a Liberator by its lonesome. Defender mode circles up, forcing a retreat of all those SCVs. Excellent reaction time from Commando. Indeed. Widow Mines burrowing a little bit more closely. No big deal. Viking Clump once again getting shots off on Liberators in Defender mode. Trying to get rid of them. Getting rid of one. Widow Mine shot. Oh, taking out a couple Liberators there, but losing a lot of Widow Mines as well. These tanks on the high ground. A couple of them are in range. More Widow Mines. These SCVs are not mining at all. And finally, getting rid of the final Liberator that was locking this base down. Commando needs to get some base, needs to get some mining happening right now. Actually, his bank's high enough, I'm not sure that it really matters. But tanks and Marauders individually trying to take down that tank. And they do actually get that one tank on the ground here. This clump of Vikings taking some shots. The Marine on the ground trying to ping away at them with his Gauss rifle. Might actually get credit with the kill. No! Defender mode circle roasts him to death, unfortunately, before he can attain that goal. And Cub Tub right now, 600 to 100 in favor of Kinraju. Defender mode circles everywhere, killing so many SCVs, killing so many Widow Mines. A scan checking them out, getting out of that defender mode, and just coming on back home. So again, this is completely mined out. This is mined out. This is mined out. This is mined out. This is mined out. Few Marines are forcing the lift off there. Commando has no source of income left. However, he does have a bank, and he's only down at about 20 supply to Kinraju. So can Kinraju make this happen? He has SCVs. He's getting rid of his own. I think he's trying to kill them to free up supply, because again, he's maxed out with about 63 Harvesters. He doesn't need that many, and indeed, that's going to work. Wow, that's one way to get rid of your SCVs. So he's down to 174. Production tab stays completely silent and completely empty. And SCV versus SCV battle. Put your money now. Who's going to win, blue or red? I think red has it. Oh no, some reinforcements from Kinraju. Come on in. What on earth? Blue takes it over. Again, with some cheating from the other side there. Cyclones going after Marauders and Marines. You don't see that every day. SCVs trying to kill a missile turret. They do have +3 armor, but they don't benefit from attack upgrades. So I always wondered why that was. I mean, is it really a threat if SCVs have +3 attack? I suppose it could be. That's something that Blizzard could be considering. Cyclones, Vikings, there we go. Everything in production now for Kinraju, including Ravens. And just sitting back and defending is Commando. He needs to replant that base. His income is absolutely in the toilet right now, as in 0. 22 SCVs remain. He's lost a lot of workers to this point. Long distance mining, finally bringing this command center back to land here. Patrolling back and forth. Defender mode circles on these tanks that were left for this express purpose, and two-shotting them very easily. No big stinking deal. So once again, the base is getting replanted by Commando. Kinraju, where is your army? Why are you over here? The one thing you have to do to win this game is be over here and kill this base. That's all. That's all you have to do. I believe you can do it. Some SCVs run on into their deaths trying to kill a planetary fortress. All 3 of them falling to the PF at once there. Considering it does 40 damage. Splash damage. SCVs do not have that many hit points at all. In fact, they have 45. 45 in total. And here comes Kinraju, but no, the tank. There are too many tanks on the ground. Too many Vikings in the air. Too many Widow Mines you have to be very, very careful for. APM for these players, about 150, 200. It's good. Not incredible, but good. Cyclones getting some shots off, killing a couple Hellions. Ah, not bad at all, Cyclones. But no, getting too close to the tanks and getting exploded. In the meantime, stimming forward once again, Marines and Marauders. Liberators trying to get in here for Kinraju, taking Widow Mine hits though, and exploding in mid-air. Good concave here by Kinraju. Cyclones again setting up. Raven throws down a PDD, and it actually is out of its effectiveness by the time the army shows up. So that's a bit of a problem. More Widow Mine shots there. 3 kills on that guy, 2 kills on that guy, 1 kill on that guy. And Kinraju pulling back to, again, more of a defensive position. This is crazy game. I don't know who's going to win this thing. Again, place your bets. Press 1 for red, plus 2 for blue, I suppose. And here comes Commando with the most offensive push he has made all game. Is he actually going to go for this thing? He's pushing forward with his Cyclones, with his Hellions, and his Liberators, Vikings, Tanks. Tanks need to set up in a better position here. Kinraju back and forth here. A few Marines, a little bit too close to the tank splash damage range. Defender mode circles being thrown down. 1, 2, 3, 4. They look like baseballs to me. Slowly sieging forward. All these tanks are in a lot of trouble. And Commando's just going to go for it. Comes right on in with his Liberators in anti-air mode. Vikings as well here. PDDs being thrown down by Commando, keeping his guys alive. All the tanks get completely destroyed. 135 to 163 total supply right now. Widowmine shots on top of everything, though. And Kinraju loses a ton there as well. 137 to 119 total supply. Kinraju is in the lead, but I don't know who's going to win this particular battle. Liberator on a Liberator. Cyclones getting their lock-on damage, chasing things down, killing Liberators as they try to retreat. Single Viking getting taken down as well. Lock on does take out a single Widowmine, and this is the killing round, ladies and gentlemen. These are the killing fields. Kinraju's production tab, tanks, Marines, Liberators. Commando's production tab, Hellions and tanks. Both players alike in their tanks. Scanning on in. Widowmines need to run away. They lose a couple of their number. Just get outside of that circle. Cyclones getting blown into pieces once they get in range of those tanks, as is tradition. Vikings taking out one Liberator, retreating once again. The back and forth insanity here. Commando taking another base. He's finally up to 2 mining bases. Hallelujah. The Hallelujah chorus has been written. However, Commando has not been able to kill this base. Kinraju needs to take another one up here if at all possible. I don't know what this is, but it might very well be. Defender mode circles coming up, taking out a single. Widowmine there, stimming forward. No, it's just bait, man. These Vikings are bait. They say, Marines, please come kill us. Back over here, though, if you wouldn't mind. And the tanks say, hooray. We like to kill Marines. They are very squishy. Because they are. Refinery here, SCV for Kinraju, just making sure this base is not retaken by Commando. However, has done nothing about this one here. Commando's actually lost a bunch of his gas. He had over 1,000 gas at one point, and now somehow has exactly 250. A little bit of a surprise there indeed. Production tab does not show more workers. I think Commando needs more to win this game, but Liberators on in here. Vikings smashing everything down. Liberators just standing in, killing a bunch of tanks, but losing most of their numbers in the process as well. And here come the tanks rolling on the Marines, rolling on in. Tank splash damage, everything. Widowmines taking huge shots, but no, the Marines do not care. Getting tanks on the ground, coming on in. Defender mode circles thrown up once again. Marines, and decide to back on out. They were feeling so confident until those circles came up, and then they decided to run and flee for their lives. Kinraju heading down to the south. He could probably take down these bases. He could probably do it. Tanks there. Yeah, heading south. Good job, Kinraju. Go. Go for it, Kinraju. Tanks killing everything. The Marines getting rid of those sensor towers and missile turrets. What is Commando going to do? Can he stop this slow march of Kinraju heading on out? Defender mode circles are up for Commando. Or circle, rather. Where are those medevacs? Gotta heal these guys, man. Coming right on up here. This is not a planetary fortress. Oh no, might lose this base here. Would Commando. Defender mode circle is up, but a little bit not in the right position here. Gonna get rid of that command center. Can it get burned down to the red? And indeed it can. It is going to fall. Coming from the backside, though, is Commando with his Liberators, with his Vikings, with his tanks. Slowly whittling down the orbital command's health here. Tanks on the low ground. It looks like Commando has air superiority. A lot of those Hellions dying, but taking a lot of Marines with them as well. Commando with complete air superiority now. The tanks on the high ground taking some splash damage from the tanks on the low ground. And Kinraju kind of stuck. A bunch of Marines, reinforcing Marines, coming right on in though. And not quite sure where they want to go. Taking big time shots from those tanks and retreating finally. Huh. I thought for sure those Marines might be able to do something for us, but instead Kinraju retreating once again, having killed this base. A pause, probably for a bathroom break. This game's been going on for 39 minutes and 56 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, 35 to 19 harvesters in favor of Kinraju. 117 to 121 total supply in favor of Commando. Resources lost tab, 37,000 minerals. 16,000 gas lost for Kinraju. 32,000 minerals, 11,000 gas lost for Commando. Kinraju coming right up the middle here. He does not care if he gets surrounded. He's going to kill this stuff. No problem. Going after command centers. Going after orbital commands. Getting rid of missile turrets. Trying to dodge defender mode circles as best as possible, but losing everything that's inside them. Here he comes. No. Commando retreating once again. The anti-air is too much. The anti-ground is too much. Tanks and Marines. The order of the day for Kinraju. Marines and Marauders trying to hold their own. This guy is burning. This planetary fortress has 11 kills. Small dance over here, just slowly Liberator defender mode circling his way to victory. Is Commando. Liberator count for these players, 9 for Commando, none for Kinraju, 4 tanks to 9 tanks for Commando. Commando looking good, 141 to 107 total supply. If he can beat this army, he might make this thing work. Alright, Commando, I believe in you now. Here we go. Hellions rolling on in. No, but baiting them into the tanks. Going for it is Kinraju. Everything on the ground getting melted here, and that's it. The GG from Kinraju. Commando, the good game. Well played, well played, well played. I am adding you. Commando victorious. Kinraju defeated. Kinraju has left the game at the 41-minute mark. That may be the longest game I've ever cast on my channel. I'm trying to think. Maybe someone earlier on could remember a cast from a few months ago, but nope, I think this might be the longest one. Wow! So excellent, excellent, excellent game by these guys. All right, not GM level, not pro level, but still. Platinum or diamond or somewhere around in there, I think. But in the end, Commando just managed to win one final battle. His tanks managed to make it work. The Marines and the Marauders ran on up there. The tanks were just too strong, too powerful. The tank count is really what won it for the end, in the end for Commando, and congratulations to him. So that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another weekly edition of Mid-Rank Madness. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.